everyone. So sorry I disappeared for a while. I had to, mommy duties. I had to like make sure I don't know, put certain things in place to just occupy the little ones. But hey, welcome back. It is another beautiful Monday. Welcome to Share and Inspire. For those who do not know me, my name is Esther K, okay? The founder or creator of this platform. But yeah, so for those who do not know what Share and Inspire is all about, Share and Inspire is a platform that I created whereby I get to sit down with amazing people who intentionally decided to embark on a journey to living a purpose-filled life. Esther, what is a purpose-filled life? What do you mean? It's someone who actually purpose-filled life is literally operating in your gift, in your calling. You know, have you ever gone to work and let's say, have you ever done anything that you love so much and you feel like tired, but you actually can imagine yourself doing that thing over and over again? You know what I mean? So that is literally, that's because it is a I don't know, it's fulfilling purpose. You know what I mean? Unlike you going to a job that you do not like and you never imagine yourself another day there. I'm not saying when you live a purposeful life, it doesn't mean that you will never get tired. You will get exhausted, but it should be fulfilling. It should be, you know what I mean? It should be worth it, if that makes sense. Right? Yeah, so that's what this platform is all about. Welcome. And I just also wanted to mention one thing. This Insta Live will not be saved on my Instagram account due to restructuring situations that I'm doing. I want to be posting different content on the different platforms, the YouTube and the Instagram. Okay, so if you are unable to view, so yeah, that's what Share and Inspire is all about. I see that my guest is in the building and she is sending me a request and I'm about to accept it. So this is an amazing woman. Okay, now she is literally the epitome or the perfect example of someone who's living a purpose-filled life. You can just see, like, because a purpose-filled life, it doesn't just benefit you, it benefits people around you. Okay, every time you think of giving up on something that you were called to do, always think, who could be tied to my gift? Who could be tied? If I decide not to, discover what my gift or talent is, like who else am I depriving from living a purposeful life? Who else? You get what I mean? So yeah, she's an amazing friend, amazing woman. To be honest, I can go on and on, but we're gonna invite her. Alrighty. Welcome to Share and Inspire. How are you? Oh, thank you so much for honoring this invite.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Beatrice Schultz. I know some people, like for those who actually do not know your husband or have never seen him, they're probably wondering, Schultz, and she's chocolate. Like, why do you have the surname Schultz? Do you want us to share that, or should we just let them wonder?
Let them speculate, because I actually use it as an icebreaker when I do events.
Okay.
So let them speculate.
Okay, enjoy speculating, guys. Enjoy. Oh, welcome again. Please do tell us a bit about, in a nutshell, who are you? Who's Beatrice Schultz?
Well, I am first and foremost a daughter. I am a sister. I am a wife. I am a friend, an auntie, a cousin, many things. It depends on which parts of me or which aspects of me that you would like to know. By profession, I identify as a professional housewife. And I say professional housewife because I work from home. I'm a coach by profession. I do training, mentorship. And I'm also part of the international body called Future Females. I am the Sukuk ambassador.
Perfect. Nice. Very short and sweet. Like, do you guys see why I said this is like perfect example of someone who's living a purposeful life? Yeah. So I mentioned that you're a professional housewife. I don't remember if I actually asked you to break that down. Yeah? But what I do know, and I think I mentioned this to you, what I admire about you is how you just take care of your husband, how you just, my husband is my husband. To be honest, I think I shared that with you. And I just love the way she loves her husband. I love the way she's very, I don't have the right words now, but please do break it down for us. Like, what is a professional housewife? Explain that term to us.
All right. So like I said, I identify as a professional housewife because being a wife to me is very important, and I put it as a priority in everything that I do. And it's actually one of the main influences that helped me decide what I want to do with my life. I wanted to create a life which made it easier for me to wife, if that makes sense. And a lot of days I see the pressures of work-life integration. Some people like to call it work-life balance. Is difficult because you work in the office from 8 to 5, you come home, want to spend time with your husband and your kids. Maybe there's a meal to cook, depending on who cooks the meal. Maybe the husband cooks the meal or you cook the meal. But it can become a lot, especially when the kids involved, extracurricular activities. Let's say your husband plays tennis, you do ballet on the side. It becomes a lot. I try to create a lifestyle which makes it easier for me to be a wife. And of course, it comes with limitations. It comes with challenges. However, I really enjoy being a wife. And that is why I got married at a young age. I got married at the age of 23. And I made the decision then already to work in a career that allowed me to be home most of the time. Yeah. Right. So now, at first, I used to be a teacher, and I used to work until 1 o'clock. A lot of people think teachers work until 1 o'clock. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
I agree. That's a lie. Yeah.
Teachers do not work until 1 o'clock. We work all the time. So I decided to dust off my other qualifications, and I started operating from home. So my other qualifications include media, specializing in public relations and integrated marketing, and visual arts, specializing in fashion. And I decided to now start working from home so that it would allow me to do what my passion is, and that is being a wife. As weird as it is, that is my passion.
It's really not, it's to be honest, it's not weird. Like I said, before we actually even went in depth in this, like before you even mentioned that you are a professional, or you would like to see yourself as a professional housewife, I always admired, and I think I had this discussion with your big sister years ago. I'm like, I just love the way you're just in tune with, words are failing me right now, but I really admire. I admire how you played that role so well. And I wanted to find out, was this something you wanted to do from the onset, before you even got married? Was it something that you sat down with your husband, you're like, you know what, I would really love to be in a career that can accommodate me, really wifing, like doing, was that something, or like, did you first get married and you're like, whoo, working and then it's a lot, I need to cut off something? When did it actually, when did that,
Well, growing up, I had something called a strategic life plan. And I know it's strange, but from the age of, I think 13, 14, I wrote down a strategic life plan. And it was basically goals that I had set for myself in where I wanted to be at a certain age. And growing up, people would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'd often say I want to be a housewife.
Are you serious? Are you for real? That was your answer?
That was my dream. I wanted to be a housewife. And then...
The confidence, I'm telling you, it is well.
I wanted to be a housewife. And I know as a woman, and trust me, I am a staunch feminist. It is very strange for me to say I want to be a housewife. But then just because I'm a feminist doesn't mean I don't enjoy loving and being loved.
Right.
So I enjoy being a wife, yeah.
Oh man, so good. I know that, let me not jump the gun. Okay. You are a speaker. Okay. When did the love for talking start? Would you say were you always confident? This the whole thing of motivating and, you know, like coaching, and because I mean it does involve speaking, and you need to be confident, whether it is at a restaurant, whether it's in front of people, you still need confidence to speak to someone and to actually, you know, be confident that, okay, this that I'm actually giving to the, like, you get what I mean? Like, yeah, when did that start?
Well, by nature I'm an introvert, but I'm what you call
exactly the reason why I was just careful. I'm like, wait, she isn't. No, because I feel like you're an introvert who just has extrovert tendencies. You can correct me, but yes, that's why I'm like, yeah. When did it? Yeah. Please, sorry.
So, if you're going to classify my personality, I am what you call an extrovert, which is a social introvert. So when people don't know me, I can appear quiet, but when you know me, I'm not quiet. I'm quite loud, and I have a lot of fun. But when it comes to when it comes to professional speaking, the passion actually began in grade 7. I went to a school, convent, and Sister Anne asked us to read a passage out loud from a book called Silver Sword. Now, I really love the book, and I love reading, and I had already read the book beforehand. So when it came to my turn to read the passage, I didn't read it, but I performed it. And I was
Come on now. Come on now.
I fell in love with being able to do performing art. So for me, speaking started from performing arts. And when I went to university, I also did voice and speech, which is also a form of drama. So I really enjoy articulating or expressing myself through art.
Okay.
And where it started. So when 2012, I used to host a platform called Loving You, where I used to host workshops where we just come together as women and talk and share life and share tips and so forth. So that's where it started, grade 7.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So, like, Beatrice, you really had it all figured out what you want. Like, you were very organized.
No.
No, because it really looks like you had this whole life plan, like, jotted down from a very young age, like, to be honest.
Yeah, I do enjoy setting goals. I have a lovely friend. Her name is Nalau. And she is the kind of person who'll be like, Felende, let's go to Vinto today. And I'm like, what? I kind of need a month or 2 to process.
But I mean, we all need that kind of balance.
That we're going to go to Vinto. So yes, I'm the kind of person that likes to plan ahead. And it's not always very good, but it helps me navigate life. So kind of when I was a teacher, for example, I would plan my lessons a year in advance, weekly. So I would know exactly what I was teaching when I was teaching. And if, let's say, for example, I happened to be sick, then the teacher, the substitute that came in would easily be able to take over from where I was. You see? So I guess
so it has its pros and cons. Like, it has its, you know. Yeah.
It does have pros and cons because when you don't attain what you desire, it can be crushing. And that prevented me a lot from actually taking risks, because I would calculate each risk, and if there was maybe 70% of failure, I wouldn't actually embark. So last year, I actually learned how to fall. I learned how to fail. And I learned how to fail fast and get up again. And I actually now enjoy failing. I enjoy failing. Why? Because it has taught me that through failure, I get to learn from experience and not from scratch. So yes, I still do have a tendency of planning. My whole year was planned last year already. But I make space for change, and I make space for those spontaneous moments when the Lao says, girl, let's go.
No, we definitely need a Lao in our, especially if you're a big planner like Beatrice, you need a friend like Nalau just to like, hey, hello, can you just, loosen up a bit. Talking about planning, talking about you being a big planner, by the way, I planned, but I had already approached my friend Beatrice, the lovely lady you're seeing on this screen. I had approached her already for this share and inspire, date. But because of the planner that she is, she's like, oh, let me check my calendar. The first time she said I should actually book her on the calendar, I was like, huh? Book where? How? But then because I wanted to respect, because look, as much as people are your friends, you also need to kind of respect their, way of, living, and, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, Rain, how does this thing work? You're like, no, just try to check for the available dates and whatever. So she was not available for Monday. So when I checked with her this year again, I was like, oh man, it falls on a Monday. And she's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, huh, Jehovah. Wait, did she just say it's fine? Oh wow, guys, don't give up on your friends who who come up as strict. One day they will change. One day, I'm telling you, and to be honest, it's an honor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because Mondays, wait, your Mondays were to relax, or what was your Mondays for again?
I don't work on Mondays.
Listen, and she sticks to it. You can come with R1,000,000 and she's like, listen, I'm resting. So she takes it very seriously. She takes it very seriously. That's so good.
It's hard work, you understand, and that is why it's like, it's a conversation, it's a fun time. We can make it happen. You see, like I mentioned earlier, to help me and my personality. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a ambivert, and it helps me build a sense of security to know where I'm going from now. However, there is an old saying that says, if you fail to plan, you fail, right? But that doesn't mean just because you've planned something that you can't alter it. The Bible tells us that many are the purposes of a man, but many are the plans of a man, but the purpose of the Lord will prevail. So when I put a plan, I don't put a plan there to be like, okay, this is the plan, and this
like it's written on stone.
Yes, it can always be altered. Having the plan gives you a vision. It gives you a where I'm going. It gives you accountability to yourself. To attain what you set up for yourself. And that is why goal setting is such an important thing. But if you set goals without time allocations, then you're just writing things on a piece of paper to look pretty. So setting goals means that you set a goal with a time schedule in mind. Now, let's say, for example, you set a goal, okay, I want Share and Inspire to have reached 10,000 people this year. But maybe it only reaches 500. That's okay. Because you pushed yourself to reach 10,000. You set the goal and you achieve that goal. If you had set yourself 100 only, maybe you're only going to get 5 people. You see, so setting goals is a good thing, but it doesn't mean that just because you set a goal, you don't have the ability to change it. The only constant thing in life is change. So be able to be malleable. Allow yourself to be malleable so that you can change the processes of what is around you. I mean, none of us were prepared for the hit of COVID-19. If COVID-19 taught us anything, it taught us to be able to bend without breaking. It made us realize how tenacious we are because we were able to adapt like this. Businesses went online. Mothers started homeschooling. Things happened overnight, and we were able to navigate that change. So change is constant. But having a plan helps it make it easier. Just a little bit easier.
Yeah, and that just shows that, to be honest, as human beings, there is nothing that we cannot, like, for example, if you planned to, you're like, no, this is the only route, this is the only way it would work. This whole pandemic has proven to us that, no, that's not, there's just not one way to actually, there's not just one way. And yeah, I'm actually grateful for last year. I don't know about other people, but I must say I've grown. I've really grown in a lot of areas in my life, and yeah, so good. Let's talk about your coaching. Okay. When did you always like encouraging people? Did you always love hearing people's ideas? Did you always love seeing people become the best version? Like, when did it start? Like, what fulfillment do you get in picking up another woman or another man or whatever it is? Because you just don't coach women, right? It's both. Do you? Okay, so it's cool. So let's keep it in. So what fulfillment do you get?
Okay, so let me start from the beginning of your question, which is when did I realize or begin my coaching or become an encourager? And the honest truth is I never knew. I never knew I was an encourager until a friend of mine, her name is Njeri, Njeri Siska, Njeri Mwangi, she came to me one day and she said to me that, no, friend, I really think that you're an encourager. And I was like, really? And she was like, yes, you encourage people easily. And I was like, oh, wow, I never knew this about myself. So I started exploring it some more. This was in 2015. And I started exploring this statement that she said to me. And I realized that, oh, wow, what came naturally to me was actually not natural to all people, because I really do enjoy just cheering on other people. So I guess it's an innate God-given gift that I have. It's not something I have to work hard to do. It literally makes me so happy to see other people succeed. And it's always been that way. It's not that I have to somehow pull it out of myself to encourage or to hype up another woman, or just, share and make sure that she's able to attain her dreams. So to me, it was a natural thing. And Njeri is the one who pointed it out to me. And funny enough, I had a chit chat with Hermine Ilago last week, Friday. And she said the same thing. She said, Mada, I don't know if you know this about yourself, but you are an encourager. And I was like, oh, wow, guys, thank you for letting me know this. So coaching, training, mentorship have been doing now for since university. So let's say 2007, I've been doing mentorship programs. And again, I just really love to edify. I love to pour out. And I believe that the only way I can continually pour out of myself is by making sure that I am myself replenished. Because I can what I don't have. And I remember during COVID-19, I saw this statement that said, some people like to look at the glass half empty or half full, An optimist will say the glass is half full. The pessimist will say, no, it's half empty. How about being the opportunist and just drink the water?
Right? Just drink it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So that's where I started coaching. And then when I resigned as a teacher in 2018, I started pursuing actively becoming a coach. And recently, I'm so excited, I have received my certification as a trauma healing facilitator. So now I can also do trauma healing and walk people through a journey of healing after experiencing types of trauma. So I'm quite excited about that.
Friend, are we even friends? The fact that I don't even know that. But congratulations. I'm about to hear that when my other question on you defining friendship. I want to know why I don't know that information. But congratulations to many more, love. Congratulations. You really deserve it. And the
reason why you haven't got it yet is because in order for me to get certified, I have to host a healing retreat. So I'm still in the process of getting women together and hosting a healing retreat. And then once I host my healing retreat, only then will I get certified.
Oh, okay. All right. No, congratulations. Congratulations. Aw. So we spoke about your friend who actually pointed it out, and you said that it just came naturally to you to be, and someone actually pinned this comment. Someone said, you've always been an encourager, Moda, right? So that's Mrs. Nondo. So I wanna, before I actually ask the question, I just wanted to say it's very important to be surrounded by people who actually notice that things like that in you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're just being love. You're just love. And someone says like, do you know that what you're giving? There was a time where we were coming from an event that you hosted in Wellfish Bay, and we were just, I think we were just really talking about how amazing you are, and you're like, oh, thank you guys, and you're like, you're so humble, as if you're not the one who literally organized the entire event. And someone said in the car, and she said, no, there's this word, I asked you, it's what you...
Reciprocate.
Come on now. let me tell one thing about me and Maud, that I love her because she corrects me with love. She doesn't even make me feel like she knows big words, but she's like, no, friend, don't worry. You're not the only one. In my head, I'm like, I'm not the only one, but you'll be using big words here. But she's really, Mother, you're just amazing, to be honest. So yeah, and she said that, and to be honest, like really, you give. I feel like you get back what you give, like whatever you're getting, like the love and the whole, it's just what you're giving. And because it's so natural to you, I think sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, like what, like I feel, because it comes so natural to you, you don't even see that you're doing it, like you don't even see that you're doing the most. Am I making sense? Because you're just being like, oh okay, I woke up like this, like this is just, oh okay, you appreciate me being me, cool, that's great. So let's talk about the importance of how do you choose friends who would actually help you become the best version of you. I mean, seeing that you're a coach and you love seeing people become the best version of, how do you just go, because it's not like, it's not like you go in the shop and you're like, oh, I like that shoe, I like that. So how do you identify these traits in someone that you would want to befriend? Let's talk about friendship. Yeah. That's that's a mouthful. So sorry. Try.
It's okay. I'll try and remember.
Okay.
So friendship is a journey like any other. And it's a relationship like any other. And it grows. And it matures. And it changes over time.
Right.
They are friends for a season. They are friends for a reason. And they are friends for a lifetime.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to realize that this
Sorry, just hold on. I hope if you're at home and you have access to a notebook, please note this down. Some of this information that she's giving, some people pay for this, okay? People pay for this. So get a note. It's very important. I'm telling you, this is gold that she's dropping. Please preach to us.
You're so sweet, Esther.
I'm so blessed that you're my friend. So, I get to get the book for free.
Hi. I think Chiwo Niso says hi. Hi, Chiwo Niso. Hey. Thanks for joining us. And thank you to everyone listening as well. So what is a friend? First of all, what do we define as a friend? A friend is someone who shares a likeness with you and is willing to commit to walking a journey of life with you. That is what I define.
Sorry.
So now, having this friend is also different from having an acquaintance. An acquaintance is someone that you meet, you say hi, and you can share information with, you can laugh with, and then you go your separate ways. So an acquaintance is not a friend, and a friend is not a friend. And I think many times we make the mistake by thinking that acquaintances are friends. And then we come up with expectations on acquaintances whereby it was never there.
That's right.
Now, I had my share in the most interesting friendships. And this woman taught me such an amazing lesson. Because I thought we were within. I thought we were the things,
Right?
And she, we were just having drinks, and here you're planning a wedding. And I'm like, oh wow, thank you for that. And I really appreciate that statement, because it made it very clear to me that many a times people are on different wavelengths in what they think, or where they think their friendship is. And that is because of lack of communication. If you tell a person from the get-go that we are acquaintances, then they know. It's not an insult. It's not an underhand. We're acquaintances. Our relationship is beautiful, and I'm giving everything within that relationship, and I still love you within that relationship. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna share the same information with you as I would someone else that I consider a friend.
Right.
And many times people get offended, people get hurt. Why? Because of that demarcation. Now, I love to use the analogy of the temple. You have the outer court, you have the inner courts, and you have the holy. And when it comes to building friendship, it is possible for someone to have been in the outer court And now maybe through years of walking a journey with a person, maybe after 3 years of having deep, meaningful conversation, of support, of trust being built, that person has moved from being from in the outer courts into the holies of holies. And then you also have the situation that maybe now this person was in the holy of holies and this person was your everything. But again, because of and everything, you maybe move, you don't communicate as much as you used to, things get a bit strange, and that person then maybe moves from being in your holy of holies into the outer courts. It does not mean that the person is still not your friend. They are your friend. You just have a different relationship, and that's okay. It's okay to be able to have a friend in a different relationship, because we relate to different people differently. You know? And that's okay. Many times society puts so much pressure on us to have this friendship with everyone. Like, I know there's some people who will be like, oh, you got married and you didn't invite me. She didn't invite you because you didn't make the list, and that shouldn't be something to take offense. That should just let you know that the level of intimacy that you share with friendship is there. You know what I mean? And be honest about it. Don't lead people. Don't make people assume something that is not. So the best way to do that is through communication. If you can tell this person, listen, I love you, but right now, I don't think I'm ready to share my heart with you like that. It's okay. But now if you give this person this assumption that they are within, you know, and then they find out from someone else that maybe you had a soiree at your house and they weren't invited, that person, you know. So setting boundaries is about giving the person the ability to be themselves unapologetically. You being yourself unapologetically. That way it allows you to know where you end and where they begin, and where they end and where you begin, and you're able to live peacefully. But now, if you make this person think that you are, she's my best friend, you know, BFFs, and then suddenly you cut her out of things intentionally, you're deliberately hurting someone else. You know what I mean? So I think friendships is a bit more complicated than little friendships. You know, when we're young people, you'd meet someone, you'd be like, hey, wanna play Amagoose? Get your ball, you start playing Amagoose. Your best lives. Kids make friends easily, but maintaining a friendship is a whole different ball. When it comes to maintaining friendship, it's work. It's intentional loving, and is intentional creating space for that person in your life. So when it comes to me and selecting friends, I am friendly to everyone. I don't have any filters in my eyes that is like, okay, this one no, this one yes, no. I am a friendly person. However, when it comes to people in my holy of holies, we have had to have walked a journey for me to know your personality, for me to understand that, okay, we have the same understanding, you know, we are vibing on the same way. And people shouldn't be offended if it takes me a while to get there. The reason why it takes me a while to get there is simply because I do not have relationships that are not meaningful. You see. So if you are in my life as a friend, I am intentional in making sure that you are heard, you are seen, and you are loved. Now, if I know that I cannot do that for you right now, I will tell you I cannot. You see. And I'm so blessed that I have similar women around me who have the same mentality. And growing up, I mean, I'm the youngest sister of 4. And my older sister, ones who really instilled that in me, because they made me understand from a young age that I didn't have a choice to be their sister. They didn't choose me as a sister. But they chose to be my friend. Growing up with them and wow, okay. So just because we're sisters doesn't mean we have to relate. You see? So we had to be intentional about creating space in our lives for each other.
Just continue, sorry.
Helped me in navigating such friendships. I would like to say a big welcome to everybody that joined us right now. Esther has stepped away for a while, but we're currently talking about friendship. Is there anything that you would like to share with us? Any tips? Any motivations use that has benefited you in being a friend, as well as having someone be a friend to you? Please leave it down in the comment section down below. And it's always nice to know where everybody's joining us from. So let us know you're joining us from. Are you in Sokobund like I am? Or are you in Joburg like Esther is? It's always lovely to know where you're tuning from.
Did I mention
Over to you, Esther?
Did I mention the importance of having friends that bring the best out of you? They can just gel, like what she said. They just, I didn't even have to, there was no script. I didn't even have to tell her take over. She just, the importance of just. So that was so good. I love what you were saying. And without mentioning who, I'm seeing comments floating in here. Okay. Oh, it's what you asked. Oh, Preston UK. All right. Thank you for joining us. You guys can hear the cartoons in the background, right? You can.
It's fine that you're. It's okay.
All right. I want to make sure that I am as clear as possible. Go and sit there, Mama. So yeah. Coming back to what you were saying, without mentioning a name, but she is actually in the comments, and like you said, there was the friend that actually made you realize that, oh wait, there are levels to these things, right? I can't discuss like what you the perfect illustration you used about the temple, and she also opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, I thought we were friends, and she's like, I don't mind being your friend, but I'm very intentional. She said, no, I'm actually, I don't mind, but, for me, friendship, I'm very intentional about, someone, about what I, like the things I do with someone or towards someone that I consider my friend. I knew you. I know that you did my hair. I know you're an amazing woman, but I didn't know we were friends, and I'm like, here, I thought we were friends. And I really love that. And I think I mentioned this. We did talk about this. And I'm like, oh, wow. And, and when someone says this to you, don't take offense. And the fact that you take offense, it just means that you didn't probably know these things, right? There are levels to these things. I never knew. I just thought, oh, Chomi, you're my chong. Okay, cool. We can talk about everything. But no, it doesn't work like that. And like you said earlier, that if someone tells you this, appreciate it, at least now you know that, oh, okay, if I wasn't invited at a house party, or if I wasn't invited to a wedding, don't feel bad. Just know that, oh, okay, cool, we are friends. Our friendship is this kind of friendship.
I just want to mention as well that it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. So
right.
How you say it should always be from a place of love. It shouldn't be to want to cause offense. It should be
right.
done in love, and
right.
it should be done in such a way that that person doesn't feel rejected. You see, so for example, important. If someone comes to me and says, where are you going for the holidays? And I don't feel comfortable sharing that information, then I'll be like, honey,
that's wisdom right there.
I'm not going to tell you because
right.
You must use love. Or let love lead when it comes to putting these, and all about boundaries based. It's about making sure the people you connect with are people that are heart people.
Wow.
But just because you don't connect with this person now doesn't mean that you won't be able to connect with them in the future.
So true.
So I see here we have a question from Chiwan saying, how long did it take you to get to that point? In all honesty, I'm still learning, and I'm still learning new ways of doing this, Many times we have the head knowledge of something, but
right.
having to actually put it out is a different ball game.
So true.
So
yeah.
I will get hurt about something, but having the knowledge allows me to process that, okay, maybe this friend did this because she wasn't ready, or she what. So what helps me is making room, making space for people to err, because many times we have that thing of putting people on a pedestal whereby we feel that this person will never hurt me. So just as we give grace to them, we should give grace to ourselves. You see?
Right.
So now let's say, for example, a wedding that I friend of mine, and she didn't invite me. I will ask myself, why couldn't she? Okay. Maybe there was a corona limitation and maybe she wanted a more intimate celebration because they didn't want to have a big thing. So it is a process that begins. I won't say that I'm learning is something I still learn on a daily basis.
Oh, that's so good. So be graceful to yourself. Like, be very, don't be too hard on yourself. And it really comes with time. Like I said, I didn't know these things. And it protects your emotions. It protects you as well. So that you just don't go about telling every part of your life to just anyone. There are some people who are graced in certain areas, there are people who are just graced in keeping secrets, or there's people who are graced in giving you advice, or there are people who are graced in just listening. That's just what they're good at. You can just call them in the middle of the night and say, Chomi, I just want to talk. And they will just listen to you. That's just that, so it's important that you identify those things, and like, and you can still have a million friends, but at least you categorize. It's like how you pack your wardrobe or your cupboard, okay, this is where the jeans are, this one, so that when you have to rush somewhere, you don't now have to like look for, you get what I mean? And it won't be perfect. Huh? You saying?
It won't be, and I said exactly. You have to actually go out there and tell people, listen, you are in my
right.
You don't have to tell.
You don't. Yeah.
It's how you relate to the person, and it's okay. Relationships take. It's a journey. To enjoy the journey.
No.
Enjoy the journey of.
No, you really have to. You really have to, and that's one thing I love about my friend, like Beatrice. Like, to be honest, there were times where we just not crash, but then that's a very it's a rough word, but there were times where I just wanted to like walk out because of so many past experiences of where I just I just feel like I never did anything right with other friends. That's because I didn't have this knowledge, right? But she's like, you ain't going nowhere. We are going to fight. In fact, we will fight, my dear. We will fight. But, we are going to do this, and we're going to do this to better our friendship. And I was just like, wow. And the violence shall take, and the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violence shall take it by force. She's a perfect example of, she's like, you're not going anywhere. We are gone. She didn't have to sugarcoat stuff. She spoke with love, but she was very, like, she was stern, and she was also just being herself. She didn't decide to walk on eggshells, and I really appreciate, I'm telling in front of everyone, I appreciate that about you. Thank you so much. If Beatrice is your friend, you're blessed. If she's not, it's okay. It's fine. Just enjoy her smiles and her laugh. It's the same. Yeah, just enjoy. It's still fine. It's still okay. I'm joking. Let's talk about, we have 10 more minutes left. Let's talk about, how do you pronounce it? Akoma? How do you pronounce the talk? Is it Akoma?
Yes.
What does it mean? What does that name mean?
Akoma is a word from the dialect, and it means heart. Yeah.
Okay.
So Akoma is a platform that I created with my sisters in 2018 to have heart-to-heart talk to dismantle societal taboos through conversation. Okay. So it's a platform for to get together to talk about things, things that society doesn't necessarily approve of. Right. Things like miscarriages, things like husband beating, things like friendship. Friendship is actually a conversation we have often because maintaining adult friendships can be so challenging. So that is what Akoma Talks is about. It's a safe space to have conversations about what is usually deemed as societal taboos. And it's my sister and I, as I mentioned, I'm the last of 4 sisters. Okay. So I have 3 older sisters. Okay. And conversation, we invite other people to join us. It started off as a physical workshop on health in the Black community. As a Black woman growing up, talking about mental health wasn't something that was easily discussed in our home.
So true.
And I realized a lot of Black women struggle with mental health issues, but we're always told to be strong. We don't do it, but not like we are strong. And emotions because we don't want to appear weak. Because as a Black woman, given the space to be weak. Seeming weak is not something accepted in our culture. So it is space to talk about the importance of mental health, and it was wonderful. And then my sister went back to Germany, and we decided to convert Akoma Talks into a podcast. So we had a podcast, and it was wonderful. We still have a podcast, but because of Corona, we just changed it up a little to have people participate in it, and we started having Zoom rooms. So once a month, we'd have a conversation, invite people, and we would talk. We would just talk and unpack issues.
Oh, that's so good. Can you
and Akoma Talks is a social... Excuse me?
No, sorry, I thought you were done talking because I wanted you to give us details if you guys have a social media platform and all of that, whether you guys have a blog post. All right, perfect. Give it away.
Our Instagram page is Akoma Talks, and I just wanted to mention that Akoma Talks is the corporate social responsibility of our company, which is called Akoma Trading. And Akoma Trading is a company where we do coaching and training. So we train corporates and we do coaching. So that is the company, Akoma Trading. And Akoma Talks is our corporate social responsibility. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's so good. You of course, you mentioned that you host this or you own this with your sisters. Has it always been like this? Like, have you guys always had this, nice jelly? Because of course, we sibling, not sibling. Is it sibling rivalry or what is it called? I'm the only child, like biologically, so I don't really. No, yeah. So has it always been like this? Have you guys always worked so well together? Or would you say that it like we spoke about relationships and work right now. Would you say that you guys had to put in the work to actually get to where you guys are right now?
As I mentioned earlier, my sister told me, I never chose you as a sister, but I choose to be your friend. You see? So it is that we are intentional about, and we work on it. We work. And what helps us to separate our personal life from the business is by having different, I can say, rooms. If, let's say, for example, have a meeting to discuss, we're talking about business. Don't tell me about your husband problem. Don't tell me about your bills. It's a business conversation. When that business conversation is over, then we can just about our issues. And then we can talk about our issues. We can talk about our money issues. We can talk about that movie we watched and so forth. And it's all about setting boundaries, making sure that we stick to those. So if we have a business meeting, I want to now talk about the fact that my cat to tell me, mother, no, this is not the time to talk about your cat. We're here to talk about, you see.
That's so
and
good.
Of course, it does. Women, we not only do we go through normal issues of life, we also have hormonal imbalances that also the way we process information. So let's say I'm PR one day and my sister asks me, mother, why is it that you didn't send out the letter? Because I'm in charge of PR. So why didn't I send out whatever? I'll maybe start crying because I'm like, but why? Why are you attacking me? Like, why?
As if it's a new role. As if you've never done. As if this is not what you usually do. Like you are the one responsible. That's your response. But it happens.
Why are you coming from? So it's all about giving each other grace, making error is righteous. Not even one. Allow people to be themselves. Nobody's perfect, and I never expect perfection from anybody. And I'm so happy that it also allow me together and we're building this together. And saying that goes, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
Rome really wasn't built in a day. But my husband likes to say, but it was destroyed in a day. And that is very true. It can take 10 years to build a relationship to destroy it.
Sure.
So we need to be cognizant of the way we relate to people. We need to see that, okay, this person, for example, I know Esther to be like this.
Yeah.
Now I come and I treat you completely different, knowing very well it will hurt you. That is just being purely evil. Doesn't it?
It makes.
But if, let's say, for example, I am going through a lot and I speak to you in a way that you're not used to, I can come back and say, you see, so it's all about communication. It's all about face, allowing people to grow, because everybody's growing.
Sorry.
It's fine. Hello, Tahila. Hello, baby. Hi. Hi, Tahila. Hi.
Yeah. So that's so good. Like you heard, like it's work, and give grace to people. Like, you know, people are, they are cut from different cloths. Yeah, you can't talk to you. I can't handle Moda the same way I'm handling who, you know. And it's very important that you know that about your like your relationships. It's very, very important. And that I think you mentioned a very important word. You said how to maintain something friendships. What did you say? To maintain, is it long-lasting friendship? There was a term you used. I just don't remember. And that's how, that's actually, I mean, the perfect example of a great friendship that I love is Gail and Oprah. Like, they've been friends for the longest time. But I know if you sit down with them, they will tell you that it has not been smooth sailing. You know, they had to put in work, they had to compromise, they had to, they had to like, okay, cool, black doesn't make sense to me, but okay, it's fine, cool, it's fine, So we are having, can we have 5 more minutes? We're actually having 3, but can we add 2 more minutes? All right, can we? It's fine. We spoke a lot on we spoke about your coaching. We spoke about just like how, like the whole time that you were speaking, the whole time you were speaking, like it really just said a lot about how you just really love people, and you make time. You're very intentional. That's that's actually the word I want to use. How do you recharge? How do you recharge? When do you? Yeah. And when you do recharge, would anybody know? Okay, probably it will be the how. How do you recharge? Yeah.
Well, like I mentioned, I don't work on Mondays for that very reason. Because usually from Tuesday to Sunday, because I work on Sundays, because I also work in church. I do a service in the church. Yeah. So I also work on Sunday. So I take Mondays off just to recharge. And the easiest way for me to recharge is by doing my hair. I love doing my hair. And I take time to do hair. I will wash it. I'll deep condition. I will read a good book. Oh, I love reading. So I'll read a good book. Or I'll just sit down and stare and think. I love to journal as well. So I journal often. Funny enough, I found my...
Yeah, I read the post. Yeah, I read when you said something. I was disturbed. What did you say? I was I needed Jesus or something like that. Yeah, you said that. What grade was that? Who kept it for
this
you?
One is from grade 4. I kept them. I have all of them. This is from grade 4. This one is from grade 7.
Guys.
This one is from, I think, grade 10. And I have a lot of them. I love journaling. So that's what I do to replenish. I love worship as well. I put in some worship and I sing. And that is how I replenish. It's not, in order for me to replenish, I have to withdraw. So I need to just have some time away from people and just breathe. That's what helps me to recharge.
Okay. How do you do that without making anybody feel... do you let your friends know that Mondays are for this? Like you mentioned, you spoke about how you have to speak with love, how you have to... Okay. Okay, that's so good. You meant,
for example, let's say I have a friend that wants to meet me on a Monday problem, and I'll explain to her, oh, sweet, I can't meet you today. I want to do this. Like, for example, this weekend has been hair day, and I've been re-twisting my hair, and
it looks so good. It looks good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then I communicate, all about communication, effective communication. And the number one rule to effective communication is to listen to understand and not to listen to reply. Many times we are wired to listen to reply because of past traumas or hurts. We feel that is attacking us when they mention something that we're not familiar with. So pause and listen to understand from that person's perspective. And that I have learned to do with my friends. I'll tell them, I cannot. And if I can, I'll tell them, yes, I can. Why not? I'll make space for you. I'll make time for you because I see that it means something to you. So it's not that I shut myself in the house and say, get out. I always make space.
Right.
Ask. Yeah.
This is so good. Someone said you are doing well, sisters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is platforms like this, you know, like, because sometimes I would get people asking me this, and I would not know. And then we will have, like, you know, we'll be honored to have a Beatrice who, out of experience, you know, can actually share with us, you know, these answers. Because sometimes, to be honest, you don't have the key to unlock all doors when people. So for me, to be honest, I'm just grateful that I answered the call to create this platform, because even me, I'm really learning a lot. I am learning a lot. You're my friend. I've got access to you, but like just listening to you is like fresh again. It's like I would literally, I know I would play this video over and over and over. And I know you always think I guess you are, but to be honest, that's just it is what it is, to be honest. So you mentioned, you made an example of you mentioned the word husband. In a nutshell, marriage. How's marriage? In a nutshell.
My marriage.
No, yeah, you're married, you've been married for 10 years. Anybody out there who's just curious, because there are single people here as well. So, and we mentioned about you being a professional housewife, and you look very happy, by the way, and you're glowing. So, just in a nutshell, what would you say? Whether it's 3 words, whether it is marriage or whatever it is, tell us marriage in your from your experience.
I would define marriage as intentional. You have to choose to love your spouse. You have to choose every day to make your number 2. My number. And I know that I am my husband's number 2. I can never be my husband's number 1 because God is his number 1. And as he cultivates a relationship with God, it's easier to relate to each other. My relationship with God. For me, my Christian walk is a lifestyle, and it's dear to my heart as it is to my husband as well. So when I come home, I come knowing who I am in Christ, and my husband knows who he is in Christ. It makes it easy for us to. So for me, marriage is about having honest conversations and being intentional. Marriage is like any other relationship. There's nothing more about marriage apart from the fact that we have marital relations.
Right. Yes.
But it is also a relationship. It is a friendship that we nurture. One thing I love about him is that he's my friend, and I love him being my friend. I love us being able to have honest conversations with each other, tell each other what hurts us or what bothers us and stuff like that. So for me, marriage is a journey.
Right.
It is a journey. It is not a destination. The work is getting married. I know a lot of people are wanting to get married, but marriage is just the beginning of that very beautiful journey that you get to do with your best friend.
Right.
So knowing you're going to choose them every single day and you're going to choose the marriage gives you a different mindset walking into a marriage like, if you do this, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Mm.
But in the same vein, I do not, and I will say this very slowly, I'm saying that if you are in an abusive relationship where someone is abusing you physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, that you should, you know, you can always step aside and make it work. You know, no one should ever want to be in a situation that causes them harm physically or emotionally. However, if we choose, we know that we are making sure we're intentionally deciding that I like you, my husband, or I like you. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I feel I want you to give advice to anybody who wants to get. How do you prepare, not for marriage? When I say for marriage, it's for this relationship, because a lot of people are so focused on the wedding day, and where, like, they're so focused on the honeymoon destination. Their husband is not, they've not even yet located, or they're not located. But what should they rather be doing with their time? How do they invest wisdom in themselves? How do they, well, in a nutshell, you know, things like, if you're not ready to work on a relationship, you're not ready for marriage, what are the 3 signs? Okay, what are the 3 signs to show that no, you still need to wait for marriage, that you need to wait? What are the 3 signs? Maybe 3, 4, 5, I don't know.
I not make that decision for anyone. However, what I can say is the very important thing to do before wanting to get married. Learn to love yourself and learn to know who you are in Christ Jesus. Because if you don't know who you are, your spouse will not know who you are.
Yeah.
Not able to tell you who you are. So I cannot say that 5 signs, or these are the 7 signs, or 7 signs of success, or whatever. No, it's about self-development. If you know without a shadow of a doubt, this is who I am. If a man comes and meets you and you're not that person he wants, it's fine. You're not meant for him. You're meant for someone else. No, you should never feel the need to alter who you are to fit into the status quo of someone else. Correct. And that can be done through actualization, self-development, and self-leadership. It's knowing who you are innately, and you can only discover that through spending time in the Word of God, and the Word reflects to you to know who you are. So my advice to anybody who would like to get married is focus on self-development. Many times we focus on preparing themselves to be a wife, but we hardly ever take the time to ask men if they know how to. Who teaches men and husbands? And that is something you need to yourself also when meeting someone. Is this man a husband, or is he just a man? Because the Bible tells us that he who finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. Meaning there's a difference between a woman and a wife. Therefore, there's also a difference between a man and a husband. So now here you are preparing yourself, and if you know who you are and you understand who you are, if you meet a man who's not a husband, you'll be able to differentiate the two. This man is not ready for marriage. I don't know about you, but I've heard men say the strangest things to women. I've had friends come up to me and tell me that, no, he tells me that he's not ready for a relationship. He just wants us to vibe. I beg, to vibe.
Exactly. What does that mean? Is that even what is that? Right?
What is that? So now, if you as the woman, this man has told you he's only there to vibe. Now you carry yourself and decide, no, I want to be with this man anyway. Whose fault is that?
Right.
If 10 years down the line, this man doesn't want to make commitment, he told you from the beginning he wasn't for a relationship. He wanted to vibe. You see? But now if you know who you are and you are comfortable in your identity, and a man tells you, I want to vibe, you can say, honey, I'm not ready to vibe. Huh? I want a husband.
Right.
You can walk away.
Straight up. Yeah.
Straight up. So it's all about self-development and self-actualization. I mean, I know people who got married at the age of 17 who celebrated their golden anniversary this year. They celebrated 50 years of marriage. And
it's possible.
find love at the age of 60. So I wouldn't say necessarily there are certain
It's a time
signs that
frame.
you have. Yes, like if I have this and if I have that and if I have that. No. Just make sure that you know who you are and make sure that you are able to choose, because you see, you cannot blame anybody again after you make that choice.
Yeah. No, so true. So if that guy says he wants to vibe, and if you want to vibe, it's fine. Then it's fine. But don't, if the guy told you he wants to vibe, but then you're there with a different mindset, whose fault? Yeah, like she said, whose fault is that? Really, it's yours. So that's good. I guess we were supposed to name this topic relationships, because we spoke about, like, we were able to touch on so many stuff, but then it was like so mostly about, I feel personally, I always tell people God is a God of relationship. He wants us to be surrounded by people who can tell us well done, who can correct us, who can, basically, a relationship is what makes the world go round. Okay, it's not just money, but it's relationship. So I do not. Yeah. So that the last question, right? The last question before we can wrap this up. How did your husband take it when you said you were? Did you say, "Oh, I want to be a professional housewife now"? Did you know from the get-go what type of woman you wanted, like the wife? Yeah, that entire, like, yeah. Did you tell him from the get-go, or did you just like allow it to? Did you guys just grow? I don't know, in the same direction in terms of, I don't know. By the time you told him that, he was already at a place where he could understand you. Yeah, is my question clear? Right? Because some of this,
your question is clear,
right? And because Beatrice, sorry, because you mentioned, because there are some things that you have it all figured out when you guys get married, or when you guys become friends, or when you start a new job. It's still a relationship, right? And you think, oh, I want the color pink, but as you journey on this, you actually realize, no, man, I don't actually like broccoli. I actually like, this and that. So that's why I'm asking.
I met my husband in high school, and he used to be my friend. So we used to have many conversations and everything. So he always knew that it was my dream to be a professional housewife. And I knew what his dreams were as well at that time. But of course, as life, we courted for 5 years before we got married. And after we got married, the woman I was then, not the woman I am today. However, the essence of who I am has always been the same.
Oh, so good. Ooh, so good. So good.
He knew what he was getting himself into. He knew he was a African opinionated woman. Yes, he knew he was a woman with a strong tribe of fierce.
And it's still going.
Choice. Yeah. So he never I never picked from him. But of course, it's also something, again, that we communicate. It's something that we ask ourselves: is it financially beneficial for you to be a housewife right now? Is it going to benefit the family, or is it harm the family? I can't not bringing any income if I know that in order for us to make ends meet, we need to, you know what I mean? So there's always room for conversation. There's always room to add, always room to grow. It's all about communication.
So good. It's so good. It really sounds like you guys choose. I feel it's the journey of marriage or friendship, whatever. You get to choose it all over. It's like you get to choose the friendship again and again every day. Because things, right? The friend I was in high school, I'm not now. But the question is, do you still want to be friends with me? It's like flight tickets. They fluctuate, right? Yeah. So it's like, I feel relationships, marriage, whatever it is, or a job, whatever, whether it's a newfound love for a new business or whatever, it's like flight tickets. They fluctuate. The question is, do you still want to travel? Right? It's not a matter of, oh, now you're coming to the airport and you're like, oh no, how can you change your prices? To be honest, they're going to focus on the one who still wants to travel. Like, ma'am, we're sorry. we are sorry this happened, but are you going, or can we give another person? And there's always someone else who is ready to appreciate what you choose maybe not to appreciate. You really have a choice, you know. So that's so good. Thank you so much, Beatrice. I call you Mother, but for professionalism's sake, I'll call you Beatrice. Thank you so much for making time. You know, I really love how, I mean, I know how much you just love. I send Beatrice a voice note. It will be like 10 a.m. I promise you, if she's in bed with her husband, she will not listen to I can stand on my head. She'll be like, love, can you please? And I love that about you. Understand? Can you see? She will do it with love. And I will not feel how she doesn't want. No. She literally, there's always a way to stick to boundaries, or to stick to what truth. Wait, there's always ways to be true to who you are, but just do it with wisdom, do it with love, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. So now it's not like we are saying now when give yes to everybody. If someone wants to borrow money, oh yes, Beatrice said we should love people, and we should just don't give yourself away. You know what I mean? Don't give your entire you away. You know, leave some. You know, because some people really give themselves. They burn out, and then, you know, when they are recharging, everybody knows that they are recharging. Listen, can you just stop it? Because you are burned, like you're so burned out. You're literally a charcoal or a coal. It shouldn't be like that, you know. So yeah, thank you so much, Beatrice. I really appreciate this.
That not allowing yourself to burn out, that is by incorporating self-care in your daily life. You see, many times we feel self-care is having a spa day or going away, and I'm going to allocate the self-care for myself by doing this great big thing. But self-care can be as simple as pouring yourself a cup of tea and drinking it. It can be as simple as peeing alone. And mom, going to the bathroom and peeing alone with no one disturbing you. That is self-care. Really. It's simple, and you incorporate it in your life. You appreciate it, and you're like, so do what makes you feel good. And when you think about you've achieved a goal, gift yourself something, you know, even if it is a banana, if it is a tea. By the way to my heart is through my stomach, guys. I love food. If it's anything, gift it to yourself, small things, and appreciate yourself. Love yourself the way you would someone else to love you, so that when the person comes, you understand who you are.
Oh, that's so good.
Just incorporate it. Let it be a norm in your life. Don't allow just like we don't allow our cell phones to reach 0%. Make sure that you're always replenishing yourself, so that you have enough.
When are you releasing a book?
Hi, Bo.
When? Whether it is, no, really, a guide to relationships. No, for real. You cannot be, no, for real. This, you are dropping gold right now. Like, you're literally a well of wisdom, like, to be honest. So please, I want to have it on record. I'm waiting. Is it soon? It's either you give me a date or you say soon. Not no. It's either I will let you know. You've got 3 answers. You've got 3 answers. I will let you know. Oh, good. Yeah. No, we are not going to accept no's in this place, because there are some people who don't know you. They don't have the privilege. Like, they don't have this privilege. They don't know who you are. They don't know me. You know. But I can always gift a friend who can give their friend who's not my friend. You know. So please, we would appreciate, if it's not a book but a guide. You know, just on relationships. Or I know that you have to. I know God wants you to. This is not even a prophecy. I'm not a prophet, guys. It's just, we're just one of those friends. But yeah, no, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being you, and for just allowing your gift that is making room for you, make room for us all as well. Because information is power. And a lot of people don't know that. It's not just material stuff. Information is power. You know, before, it's like war, right? Before a troop or soldiers can attack another another what? Another camp or whatever, or their enemies, they first get information on their enemies before they attack, so that they attack successfully. So information is power. If you sit here for the past hour and 20 minutes, trust me, you didn't do us a favor. You did yourself a favor. Okay, and I really appreciate you for being here. I appreciate everybody for being here. And like I said, if you want to listen to this wisdom all over again, this video will be saved on my YouTube channel, Esther K. So you can just really, repetition is power, you know. So listen to it, you know, until you be it. Beatrice, is there any information you want to give of any upcoming events? You host something every Wednesday. What is that? Just give it quickly. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. So, as the ambassador for females at Mund, there's a platform to grow your businesses. So, I platform most welcome. Boy, would like to show all that I support you grow your business better. As Future Females is a platform that educates, motivates, and inspires aspiring entrepreneurs as well as existing entrepreneurs. We are here to help you grow your business better. So give us a ring, give us a DM, slide into those DMs if you need these, and we will help.
Yes. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Beatrice. I will link all her information in the description bar on my YouTube channel. A link to her blog post, a link to her whatever, like all, you know, just I'll link it there. Everything you need to know about what she offers and what she's about. All right, cool. Ciao, ciao, guys.